I would now like to invite our special guest for tonight, Srimati Geeta Maheshwaran, to share her thoughts about Pranathi. She is Director for Religious Education, Culture and Community Activities here at the Temple, teaching Hinduism to thousands of school children who visit here every year, and also seeing to the cultural, spiritual and emotional growth of the children here at the Temple. She has many roles within the wider community, promoting faith, health and equality. And for those who don't know, she's also my mother.
It's over here.
Dear friends, I'm going to try and keep this short, mostly because I'll start to cry if I talk too much about Pranathi, but also I'm really aware that time is catching up on us and we need to switch off the mics at a certain time. My mum will be timing this and shooting daggers at me at some point in time today. Normally, many of you will have heard me talk at our engagements before, and I always talk about legacy here at the Temple and for all that we do. But today I'm going to speak about family, because this young lady here has many families here. She not only has Sreedhar, Ayya and Sumalata as her parents, she has the family of priests who have been her mamas for her throughout this time, and mamis, and siblings as well, who have supported her from when she was very young. She has a family of devotees who have been coming to the temple, have been watching her perform here at the temple and grow and blossom under Lord Ganesha's guidance and love. She has a family of friends who she's learned music and dance and religious education and Tamil here at the temple. And she's surrounded by her musical family here, so Soma Master and Jnanasundara Master, Manorama Akka, who have been our senior temple teachers here for decades. They have all brought her up, we have all brought her up in different ways. She is our daughter to many of us here because we have been on that journey with her. And what a feast of music that we have been able to enjoy today. Over the last 4 or 5 days, we've been having rehearsals upstairs. Every time when she's been singing, I've been crying, so I'm not going to talk about the music because Siva Ganesh Master has already said all that is needed to be said. But I want to talk a little bit about Pranathi herself. So she came to us at the temple when she was 5 years old. She came, I think, on the same day that they landed here and they were settling in the house next door. We were having some art project upstairs and she jumped up the stairs and she came, no jet lag, nothing. She came rushing up and wanted to join in what we're doing. I think it was a William Morris art exhibition that we were creating. The work is still upstairs. So she came up without any fear and she was introducing herself to everybody, to all the ladies and the children who were taking part in the project. And she was telling us, she was insisting that she was 6 years old, because she was completely, throughout the time, she was saying, no, you can't be 0 years old when you're born. In India we say it's 1 year old, so she was convinced that she was 6. And by the end of the art project, we were all convinced as well. So that was the child that she was. She was bright, bubbly, pure in spirit, and always smiling, always eager to embrace any activity here at the temple. She grew up with the Balvikas, she grew up with Tamil school, and she loved to perform here with her friends and others here at the temple. And she grew with that in her. And she is the shining example of why this temple is here. Because she is the person who has benefited from the temple, but we have all benefited from her being here as well. All of you have some experience with her. All of you have shared in her all the joys that she's had, all the performances, all her achievements that she's had. And yet she still retains that humility, that absolute devotion to God. And that is a credit to not only her parents, but to her as a really special child here at the temple. When Sreedhar came and said that he wanted to have her Samarpanam here at the temple, we said absolutely. This is her home. She has been here. I think this is probably her first home. I think she spends more time here than she does next door with everybody else. I still remember Sreedhar bringing them when they were little. He would hold Pranav's hand after nursery and walk him round the temple, teaching him the shlokas and getting him to repeat it. And with Pranathi, he would sit and he would get her to sing or get her to do the shlokas so that he would check. So this has been their home throughout. And it has been a joy to have her and Pranav with us here. The pandemic really highlighted that for us. They've always been part of the temple. They've always been ready to help or to perform or do anything that we needed them to do. But during the pandemic, when we couldn't have other people here, they just stepped up. They were here filling kumbhams, helping the priests to get ready for their services while we live streamed them all. And I just remember, at short notice, we needed Ayya for the Tiruvala. We were absolutely determined that we would not let the pandemic stop us from celebrating all the festivals. And when we were doing the festivals, we tried to make them as interactive as possible, but we could only use the children who were in the bubbles of the priests and a few others as well. And they both rose to that occasion. For the Tiruvala, Mama Tiruvala, we needed Ayya. Half an hour I rang her and said, can you do it? She said, yes, sure, Auntie. Her phrase for me is, sure, Auntie, no problem. And then everybody got together, created it, and she did the Ayya on her own in an empty temple with just Ganesha there to give his blessings and the essential workers there. So she's always been part of us. She's been part of our heart and part of our soul. She's just such a special child for us. And during the rehearsals, I know with arrangators, with Samarpanams, there is a certain time, a certain switch that goes off on a child. If a child has really learned their music or their dance to a huge extent, there will be a certain time when they forget their nerves, they forget their worries, or if they remember their pieces, and they just connect fully with the pieces. And for her, singing to Lord Ganesha in the home that she's always considered hers, that switch went on today. I found that she really connected. She didn't worry about any nerves or worries, anything at all. She connected with the pieces and she lifted us all spiritually with the beauty of her song. So thank you, Pranathi, for that. We'll be saying some more about the musicians later on, but again, it is about a family of musicians who have been here. They are the lifeblood of the temple. They are the reason that the temple exists. It's the reason our wish to ensure that the children are raised with the culture and the religion as central to their lives. So it's not, it goes beyond the steps or the ragas or the thala that they learn. At their times of difficulties in their lives, this will be the thing that will hold them together, that will bring them up, that will give them the solace that they need and the strength to go on. Even when things go wrong or things go right, that will ground them and keep them strong and devoted and joyful in whatever that they do, and successful in everything that they do. Lord Ganesha will bless her throughout. We ask that, she'll always be here for us. and she will say more when she does her vote of thanks and we do the honouring of the artists. But I just want to ask Lord Ganesha to shower his blessings upon her and her family, who, like Vicky Ayya, when his children were young, they came to the temple, they performed here. Sana had his Arangetram here. Now Pranathi is doing, we're going to be waiting for Pranav to be ready at some point in time to do the same. But this really has been a celebration from all of us. It has been a joy to watch her perform today, and we look forward to many, many more in the future.